The iPhone 13 Pro Max, Apple's latest attempt to provide us with the complete iPhone experience, what they believe to be the best smartphone currently available. But does that all equate to be the pros phone Apple believes it is? Let's find out. Throughout the years, Apple has continued to improve upon the design and features of each one of their iPhone, each iteration getting closer and closer to what they believe is the perfect smartphone. This year's iPhone 13 Pro Max is no different. They've taken what they learned from last year's model and enhanced three key features to make it even better. These key features are the display, the cameras, and the battery. This year, Apple has added an all-new display to the iPhone 13 Pro lineup, the Super Retina XDR display. Coming in the same 6.7-inch screen of last year's Pro Max, this all-new display adds ProMotion technology, which is Apple's take on variable refresh rate. From as low as 10 Hz and going all the way up to 120 Hz, this refresh rate changes depending upon what you're currently doing. So if you're scrolling through a text message or a web page, the display will refresh accordingly to keep everything running smooth and the text on screen sharp and clear. If you like to game on your iPhone, this will also improve that experience by allowing for more fluid gameplay with that higher refresh rate. When I first got my 13 Pro Max, I noticed the difference in the refresh rate while going through text messages. It was a little jarring at first, but I adjusted to it fairly quickly. Since then, I've primarily used my iPhone 13 Pro Max or my 16-inch M1 Max MacBook Pro, both which have ProMotion technology. So I doubt I'd want to go back to a device that doesn't have a high refresh rate. ProMotion isn't the only improvement made on the new display. It also improved the max brightness to 1000 nits and the peak brightness to 1200 nits with HDR content, both which are plenty bright. The new Super Retina XDR display is also 25% brighter outdoors than the previous display on the 12 Pro Max. Apple has also reduced the size of the notch by about 20%, and while it's a welcome improvement, nothing much really has come of it since there isn't any additional information on screen like the battery life percentage. Overall, Apple touts this as the most advanced display in an iPhone yet, and I'd have to agree. The addition of ProMotion, increase to the display brightness, and the reduction of the notch are all great improvements. iPhones are known for having one of, if not the best camera systems in the world of smartphones, and this year, Apple has spared no expense in taking their camera systems to a whole nother level. Starting off with the wide camera, not only has Apple increased the sensor size, but they've also given it a wider 1.5 aperture as well. With those updates, the wide camera is now able to take a little more than 2 times more light than before. This then enables the camera to take even better pictures. The ultra-wide also has an all-new autofocus, which helps to enable an all-new feature on the Pro iPhone lineup, macro photography, allowing you to get as close as 2 centimeters from your subject to take some cool and interesting photos. When the iPhone 13 Pro lineup first launched, the macro feature will automatically switch on once you got within a certain distance of your subject. But now, there is an on and off switch, giving you more control of when and where you use this feature. Finally, we have the telephoto camera, which has seen some slight updates, like the 2.8 aperture, 3 times optical zoom, and night mode being added to this camera as well. Now, while the telephoto camera might not give you the same quality of photos the wide camera will, it still gives you good pictures in well-lit situations and decent photos in low light. Apple has also added a bunch of other features to this year's camera, which I will go over briefly to not make this video too long. Cinematic mode is like portrait photos but in video form. It blurs out the background but needs to be used in a well-lit situation, and it's capped at 1080p at 30 frames per second. Photographic styles are like filters that are baked into the photo itself, but keep skin and sky tones natural. And ProRes, which is a high color fidelity, low compression video codec used in the professional industry, and on the iPhone 13 Pro Max, it records at 4K at 30 frames per second. But it takes a lot of memory, which is probably one of the reasons why Apple added a 1 TB storage option to the iPhone. This year's camera system is jam-packed with a ton of features, helping the iPhone 13 Pro Max elevate itself even more. Although battery life isn't the most popular feature that everyone likes to talk about, this year's batch of updates is by far my favorite updates to this year's iPhone. And it actually all starts with the design of the phone. This year, Apple has increased the thickness of the iPhone to allow for a bigger battery. So you're getting about an 18% increase to the size of the battery itself. And then there's the more efficient A15 Bionic chip that seems to only sip on power throughout the day. Combining these two updates with promotion and the iPhone 13 Pro Max sees a 2.5-hour increase to its battery life. But let me tell you, this battery can easily last all day. In my daily use case, I'm averaging well over 7 hours of screen time a day. That's the mixed use of YouTube, web searches, social media, streaming video and audio, and your normal phone call and text messages. Most days, my 13 Pro Max comes off the charger around 5 a.m. and I don't put it back on the charger again until around 8 or 9 p.m. that evening, which is well over 12 hours. At that point, I generally still have 20 to 30% battery life still left. So that's one charge a day for the whole day. The iPhone 11 Pro Max I'm coming from needed to be put on the charger at least once in the afternoon for it to make it to that evening. So for me, the increase in battery life is a welcome quality of life improvement, and overall my favorite upgrade to this year's iPhone Pro Max. So with all these great updates and improvements to the iPhone 13 Pro Max, is this the smartphone for pros? Without a doubt it is. With an advanced display that allows us to interact with it in a very smooth and fluid way, a camera system full of many different features to suit the needs of different creators and professionals alike, an extensive battery life allowing you to work on your projects longer than before, and not to mention the design of the iPhone, which continues to be sleek, modern, and stylish. This is undoubtedly a pro's phone. Well, this has been my review of the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay up to date on my latest videos. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one.